Good afternoon, guys. It is again Tuesday, and I'm back to you again. Going to be talking about a subject that I know very little about today, but it was asked, so I checked it out. Someone asked me about the difference between alcoholic and non-alcoholic beer for losing weight. Now, I don't drink beer, so I didn't know straight offhand. So the question is there a big difference or not? Yes, there is. Now, a spider. How nice. What I did manage to track down was the beer that I found easiest to compare is Beck's. Beck's have an alcoholic variant, obviously enough, that we all know and love, and they also have a non-alcoholic variant. So how do they look side by side? I actually put it up on the whiteboard here. So, Beck beers. My quick and dirty comparison. So if we're talking about most bottles of Beck's beers, the glass bottles are 275 milliliters, which, okay, I understand it might be a small drinking portion for a lot of people, but let's keep it constant. That's what I wanted. So a regular Beck's beer is 275 milliliters. And from that one beer, it's 113 calories. So that's pretty good. So if you're talking about Beck's, for a pint, you're going to be just a shade over 200 calories. Because a pint is about 500 mil. Well, that's kind of the metric pint to the big whole dispute on how much is in a pint, but we won't get into that. But your pint of Beck's beer is going to be around 200-ish calories. Now, Beck's Blue, which is their non-alcoholic beer. Now, keep in mind that some low non-alcoholic beers are technically, it's like 0.5% alcohol or lower. But that's what's non-alcoholic. So Beck's Blue actually has 0% alcohol and is 38 calories for the same amount of beer. So if you were having a pint of Beck's Blue, it's going to be around 80 calories as opposed to the 205-ish calories of the regular beer. Now, why is there a difference in this? One of the reasons is alcohol contains more calories than carbohydrates. Carbohydrates will generally have 4 calories per gram if you measure them out. Alcohol will have 7. And that's the big difference here. 72% of these calories are actually coming from the alcohol. Only about 28% of them come from carbs. Okay? Whereas on the Beck's Blue, there is no alcohol. So I think it's like 35 calories in the Beck's Blue of the 38 comes from alcohol, and there's like a trace amount of protein, 1 or 2 other little things. So is beer good or bad for you if you're trying to lose weight? Beer by itself is not an issue. Non-alcoholic beer would be a better choice if you're trying to lose weight. That said, I'm not trying to get anyone to stop a little bit of enjoyment at the weekend. What usually goes wrong with beer, I'm back on again. What usually goes wrong with beer is the food decisions that follow it. The finger food, the night out, the pizza, the filthy morning, the feeling of guilt and shame, and so on. So that's the thing to be wary of the beer. Having the non-alcoholic beer is definitely going to be a good bit lower in calories. And if you're the person who's going to drink 10 bottles of Beck's, which is quite possible because that's less than 6 pints, you're talking about the difference of it being 1100, sorry, it'll be pints. Yeah, if it's 10 bottles, you're talking about the difference between about nearly 1,200 calories versus 380 calories. That is a huge difference. It seems like a small difference on one bottle, but if you're having 2 or 3 or 4 more bottles, it does all add up. Okay? So, and that's the thing really. People forget that there are calories in alcohol. Generally, drinking calories is a poor choice if you're trying to lose weight. And I'm not trying to tell people to give up their beer and give up their alcohol and give up their evenings out. I would be just trying to say, balance it a little. If you know you're going out Saturday night, eat a little less of the starchy foods during the day. So things would be like your breads, your pastas. Try to eat maybe a bit of meat, a bit of light salad. I would keep it as low calorie as possible to allow you to have those calories to spend in the evening. And then you can go out and you can enjoy your evening a little bit. And I would also say, plan your breakfast the morning after. Big thing we always find with a lot of people is, and it seems like a very small thing, a lot of people who come here, they go out at the weekend, and as soon as they actually start to plan their breakfast, as in they will either prepare their breakfast before they go out and have it ready, or they'll write it down. I'm a firm believer you should write down your breakfast or have it ready, because you go out and you know when you get up in the morning that your breakfast is ready, and straight away you're on the right track for the rest of your weekend. As with most things, the food itself, or in this case the beer, is not the issue in your life. It is how it fits in your life. So maybe you just need to alter one or two things to let you have it. You know, a friend of mine said to me one day, he was like, I like eating a big bowl of pasta, and I like having 6 beers in the evening, but I'm getting big of beer belly. And I was like, well, you can drop the pasta. And he's like, I really like the pasta. And I was like, well, then you can drop the beer. He's like, I really like the beer. And I was like, well, I guess you have a choice to make. And that's really what it's about. You can do whatever you want in life. Some things will have consequences. If you eat or drink double the calories you should have in a day, you might not feel great, and it's not going to help weight loss. If you take those calories away from something else, you can keep trucking along. And that's it. It's not about perfection. It's about finding the balance that you find tolerable. Okay? So take care, guys. Look forward to seeing you again soon, and look forward to seeing you guys come in here again this evening.